Another Monday rolls around. 8 o'clock. Just got up, kind of. Hat on. For the last week I've been battling with making a cup of tea versus can I drink it fast enough before it's stone cold, because it's so cold here. And then I remembered that earlier in the year I found myself a thermos mug, and now I don't have to worry about that problem anymore. Simple as that. I don't know what's going on with the weather this week. I did a little week's review screenshot, which I'll show you here. I think my bubble wrap might be going up on the Wednesday night. We'll see, because it looks like, even temporarily, because those temperatures look like they're going to get really, really cold. We'll see. I noticed on the news yesterday, which was Tuesday, that they're putting the minimum wage up from next April. It doesn't help any of us through Christmas, of course, but I guess that's because it will be new tax year. I think I've worked out that based on the hours that I currently work for the cleaning agency, and because we follow the minimum wage, although I'm already on £11 an hour because they're already slightly above the minimum wage, I think I'll make an extra like £14 a month or something. So it's no great excitement for me. Plus it's going to be next April. I mean, who knows what I'll be doing next April. But if you're on the minimum wage and you're doing that maybe as like a 9 to 5 30-hour a week job, that could make a big difference to your finances. Who knows what's going to happen next year. Although they talk about inflation coming down and interest rates and stuff, incrementally the price of things is still going up, but it's just going up slower than it was before. So things are likely to still be more expensive next April. So I think any of that that minimum price increase, minimum wage increase, is just going to go straight on the things you're already paying for. Plus, although we've just had the energy price cap go down, the next one, which is in, January, I think it is, that's going to go up again. Because, surprise, surprise, they like to put the prices up when they know you're going to be using more energy. They just get to make more money. It's such a wheeze. It's Wednesday evening. I'm hunkered down for the evening now. I am laid along the length of my sofa. I've got a hot water bottle under my knees. I've got my hat on. I'm already in my night clothes, my dressing gown, blanket, and I'm just faffing around on the laptop for a bit. And the heat from that, I hope, will go down into my legs as well. Oh dear, I was so tired this evening. So my Wednesday clean happened when it was supposed to, but it also happened for an extra hour. I decided to start tackling the cooker hob today, which I have mentioned briefly before was caked in grease. I don't know how many years it's been since it was cleaned. And I decided I'll give it a go. And if it doesn't work, I'll do some more research and find another way to do it. So I sprayed it down with bleach and immersed it in hot water and tried to clean it. And all that happened, the bleach does work, but when you get it in hot water, what happened was the grease just turns to super glue and won't come off. It goes all gloopy and disgusting and sticks. So I thought, well, that's not going to work. So I took the hob tops out, and all that grease turned white, and it looked 50 million times worse. So then I couldn't stop. I had to now complete this task. So I ended up having to do the work outside in the yard, and it is freezing out there today because it was making so much mess and this grease was everywhere and I was just ruining all the house cleaning I'd already finished. So I was out in the yard with spray bleach, a bucket of hot water and a knife, and I was literally just scraping it off. It was the only way I could get it off. And it took me an extra hour, and I managed to get almost all of it off. But the problem is these these gas hobs, the way they make them, they're just removable tops. You know, all gas hobs have them, and you stick them on top, and then you can put your saucepans on and they stay in place. But the shape of them means that they're really hard to clean. So I've managed to get most of it off just by scraping along all the edges. But there are lots of little corners where I couldn't get in with the knife. So I've done what I can. It's a much more usable thing now. It looks better than it did. They can use the hob, it'll be fine. And I'm going to have to, I'm probably just going to go to Poundland and get a couple of stiff brushes or wire brushes, small ones, like toothbrush size, so that I can scrape into those corners. And then once that's done, that's another job that's now under control. And it means that every week when I come in, I can just do a quick clean of those hob tops and there'll be no problem. We're almost up to date now. I had to, they have like a big walk-in shower at this place. They can't get in and out of baths because the mobility is not good. So they have like this sit-on shower chair, and I don't know when that was last cleaned. They bought this fabulous steamer called an H220 or something, H2020, and it's absolutely fabulous. You can use it as a floor steamer, and you can also snap out the middle bit with the reservoir and it becomes a little handheld, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So I got this chair and I turned it up the other way in the shower, and it was black. And I knew it would be because some of the top was black as well when I first started working there, and I'd already steam cleaned the top. And I'm just working through things in chunks, because if I spend an hour just focusing on one thing, that only gives me then a couple of hours to do the rest of the house. So I have to do things, all the house as it's normal, and then do other things I need to catch up on in bite sizes. So this time I flipped up the chair, black underneath, and I steam cleaned the whole thing. And that steamer, it's just fantastic. It just worked its way through that mould like anything. So now that's that done. So I'm almost at the point now where there are no ongoing jobs to be done. And when I did the cooker hob today, obviously they're supposed to be there for 3 hours and I did 4. So I asked them, do you want me to stop? And they're like, nah, carry on, just do the whole thing. And they're quite happy to pay for the extra time. So I made an extra £11 today on that. So I'm going to whisk down to the post office tomorrow and put that into the bank. It's more money going in. Today, and I completely forgot about this until I got home, it was the autumn statement today. And I wasn't expecting anything particularly exciting. Most of what happens in the autumn statement doesn't affect self-employed people as a general rule. And in fact, although there were a few things that affected me this time, I won't see any of it until next April. So we've got like 4 or 5 months to go, so I'm not going to worry about it. But state pensions going up from next year, which will affect everybody, because unless you've never ever contributed to the system, you will get some kind of state pension. So that's a reasonable jump, but of course I'm not going to see any of that for a long time. National insurance, I think it's going to come down a bit. I think it will be pence rather than pounds for me. And again, that doesn't come into effect until next April, which is no good for me because I pay my national insurance in January. So I won't see that until January 2025, so who cares about that? We've already seen that the minimum wage is going to go up. Again, that's going to be from next April, and I've worked out that that's probably only going to make me about an extra £14 a month based on what I'm on at the moment, although who knows how things will change between now and April. What else has changed? I can't think. I'm sure there was something else. Anyway, so it's not going to make a massive difference, and it's certainly not going to make any difference at all until next April for me. But hopefully it'll put a slight glimmer of hope onto some of your lives, those of you that are in the UK. Sometimes when you look at these figures, you look at these claims and things that they're doing, and you think, oh, that's massive. That's minimum wage is going up by X, Y, Z. But when you break it down into hours worked and months worked, it often doesn't make a lot of difference. No one's going to suddenly be not panicking about paying the rent or putting food on the table. It's going to make a very small difference, I should imagine. And there are other things that I don't think have even factored in. There was no discussion on price cap rising in January, which of course will probably still go ahead. And I think there was some talk about universal credit, but it looks like they're going to be coming down harder on universal credit. And in particular, it sounds like they are aiming for people who have health issues or on a disability to get them into work. I mean, a lot of these people do want to be in work, but you try finding an employer that, excuse my language, gives a shit. So it's all very well penalising disabled people and people with other health issues who can't find the work that fits in with their situation. But if they can't find the work because no one's interested in employing them, what can they do? So I'm sure there will be all sorts of discussions around all this. I will add them to the For the Subscribers playlist. The first thing that pops up onto my feed when I logged into YouTube was Martin Lewis giving a quick roundup of the autumn statement, and I've added that to the list because he is just so concise and straightforward. So if you're wondering how it's likely to affect you, just pop in there and have a look at that. It went up today, so you'll see it at the top of my my playlist on that list. That's the For the Subscribers playlist. I was going to do this talk tomorrow morning, but I've decided, while I'm kind of here, and lots of people do dimly lit vlogs from inside dark cars and on sofas and in bed and things where the lighting isn't so great, so it's fine, it's not so bad. I've got my thermos mug, my travel mug, which is an absolute godsend now. I can now keep a cup of tea hot for about 2 hours, and I'm shocking for forgetting to drink tea. And at this time of year, a cup of regular tea will be cold in about 20 minutes here. It's not too cold tonight. Temperatures outside are holding at about 11-12 degrees apparently, but it's going to get a lot colder, and I posted a little bit on that earlier. So I think I am going to put the bubble wrap up on the front room. The low temperatures, because we're getting lots of ups and downs, may not last, but it's going to be for at least a couple of nights. But once that bubble wrap is up, I can take it down again. So if it does improve, I will do that, because I don't like not being able to see out of this window. This is my looking out at the outside window, because I tend to work from this room. I can't really get to the window in my studio because I've put shelving up and using it as a storage space. And my other windows I can see out of, but there's not like I can stand right at this window and just survey the world going by. But I think I'd rather be a little bit warmer. I might have to put the heating on Thursday night, which actually will be tomorrow night, because it looks like temperatures are going to dip to freezing. And during the day it may only be 6 degrees. I'm not sure if that's tomorrow or Friday. I'll have a look at the weather again in the morning. So we may have to give in. So if I've got the bubble wrap up and I keep this door shut, then I can put that heating on, and a couple of degrees will make all the difference. Because if I can get the room just up to 15, it just feels so different. It's about 12, 13 in here at the moment, and I get really, really cold. But then once I'm on the sofa and I've got my blanket on and I've got my hot water bottle under my legs, and give it a bit of time and I thaw out. And once I've thawed out, which is, I get to about 9 o'clock, and for some reason, I don't know, it's because the neighbours are putting their heating on and it's coming through the floors and the walls, I seem to reach this point at about 9 o'clock where I'm warm, and then I will hold that temperature for the rest of the evening until I go to bed. So I'm currently thawing out. So yes, so that's Wednesday. Wednesday was busy, productive, and I'm glad it's over. So I'm just going to stay nestled down with me and my hot cup of tea. And it's so good to have a permanently hot cup of tea. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Going to do some work, just re-looking at spreadsheets. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. I have just done my next calculation for universal credit. I must have got my calculations wrong, because I keep trying to work out how much they're going to give me before they've told me. And I thought it was going to be about 200. And I think it's, I thought it was going to be about 200 and something, and it's 398. And I've also just had a message through on my Universal Credit Journal page on the government website, and I have my first 3-monthly meeting on the 1st of December. I can't believe I've already reached that. We're there already. My claim started, I think it was the 20th of August, and already I'm at my first meeting. It's just crazy. So I have no idea what's going to happen at that. They haven't told me to bring anything. I just need to turn up on time. So I'm going to do some basic, a printout of the months that I've submitted to them so far. And I just have to prove that I'm still looking for work. I mean, I've gone from no cleaning clients to 3 cleaning clients, and money's been up and down. I've definitely made more money this month just gone, so that looks better. But of course next month isn't going to look as good, because it's the Christmas period, and I will be away from probably just before Christmas until the 5th of January, and that's because I have a dental appointment that I couldn't get in until the new year, because the dentist obviously is closed for Christmas and New Year. So I am going to lose probably 1 week's worth of money. Don't think it's going to be next period, because my claim dates for UC are the 21st of the month to the 20th. So this month will be normal, because it'll end on the 20th of December. So it'll be that first claim month after Christmas. That'll be the not so good one, but it is what it is. I'm not hanging around here just to clean people's houses when I would rather be with family. And they live a long way away, so it is what it is. People will just have to do without me. It's tough. So that's the end of Wednesday. And yeah, I'm just going to watch a couple of YouTube videos. I can feel myself thawing out already. Oh, I feel so good. I've got my thermal fluffy socks on because my feet are like ice cubes. I'm going to look at my spreadsheets. I've got to download some survey income to my savings account. And yeah, ticking along towards the end of another month. Comes along so fast. Hope you've had a good week so far. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to go to bed. It'll be warmer as well. Anyway, that's it. Not doing any more tonight. Bye bye. Ugh. Thursday has started badly. After seeing how tired I was last night, I couldn't sleep. I was up until after 1 o'clock this morning, and I don't do well on lost sleep. I also don't like having my plans disorientated. So I woke up after 9 o'clock this morning. Got a bit of a headache, which is probably because my sleep's messed up. And my little plans for the day, of which there weren't many to start with, are just moved on a bit. So I've just been to the post office to put my money in from yesterday's clean because they pay me in cash. So at least that got me out. It's really windy today, but it's not cold. And today is wash day, and by wash day I mean that's bedding and whatever's in the wash basket, and that's me. Today is hair wash day, so that'll kill the entire morning until lunchtime. I was going to do some baking today, but that's not going to happen because that means doing a lunch that's in the oven, and it's already getting close to 11 o'clock and I haven't even thought about it. So that's going to be tomorrow now. So, disorganised. Right, let's go and do stuff. Oh, and I also think I need to get this bubble wrap up later today because I think tonight, I need to look at the weather. I think tonight is when the really cold weather's kicking in. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to go. Living on the first floor with my own hallway is one of the best decisions I ever made. I don't think you can see any of this. There's my front door. Dado rail for whatever reason. God knows why that's there. But it's useful. Look, hangers. That on the right is a fitted bed sheet for a double bed. It's not even reaching the floor. And then Dodo row up the stairs. I've got the clothes that I wear for cleaning, and there's t-shirts and all sorts. So yeah, works really well. And I have a separate door. Ooh, dark. At the top. God, how dark it is. It's lunchtime, how dark it is. And so I can shut that door, and that ensures that the damp doesn't, from the clothes, doesn't come up into the flat. Which I shall shut now. and I don't have any damp or mould in this flat at all. It's cold, but there is no damp, there is no mould. I've just had my shower, my hair looks a little bit more reasonable. A bit floofy. The door is shut on that. The window is wide open to air that post shower. And I have the rest of the washing hanging on the shower curtain rail. And that ensures that I don't get any of that damp into the rest of the flat. I'm quite lucky today. It's quite a windy day, but it's not cold. So that washing, the worst of the damp will be out of it by the end of the day, and then I probably won't need to open the windows again tomorrow. Yeah, so that works really well for that. Oh, still tired. Look, I need to get my straighteners on and sort this out. Look at this. You can imagine how short my hair is going to be when I finally get it cut. Because I'm not going anywhere today. Actually, when I went out first thing and I came back, I looked a mess because it's so windy outside. Your hair's everywhere, and it's just started raining, but you won't be able to get a brolly up in this. Anyway, it's time to go and make lunch. Click to my YouTube. Martin Lewis is on there again. Price cap going up in January, 5%. I mean, there was no way they were going to let us get away with having cheaper energy. And the cheaper energy for the next 3 months will be easily clawed back. What will happen to my outfox the market discounts, I don't know. They may well change that or take them away, I don't know. Because the problem is that if small energy companies discount too much, they go bankrupt, and then you end up losing them anyway, which is why so many of those small businesses went bankrupt, because they were offering such low rates, and everybody joined and everybody was using them, but they were losing money. And it caused quite a scandal, really, because you cannot operate below cost. If you're constantly losing money, you will go out of business. It's the law of business. You have to price things so that you're not losing money, otherwise you're not a business. So that's why a lot of them, the little ones, went out of business, and particularly now that prices are so volatile. So I would rather Outfox were charging realistic rates, so that in 3 months' time I'm not getting an email saying they're closing down, and then I end up having to move to a much more expensive provider anyway, and then it's a shock. So when you get upset about energy companies going under, it's because they're not charging enough. And I know you'll complain about how expensive everything is, but if they're not charging enough for their operating costs and able to pay staff and put staff in buildings or whatever else they're doing, they're just going to go out of business. Simple as. Anyway, look how shiny I look today. And straight. Freshly washed. Silky smooth. Right, lunchtime. Bye. Just a quick one. It's Friday morning. It's 6 degrees outside. And it's still 13 in here. It doesn't feel horrific. I don't know if that's got anything to do with this bubble wrap that's up on the window just behind me. I hate not being able to see out the window. It's a clear blue sky, sunny, but it's freezing cold. Although it didn't hit freezing last night because it was still like 10 degrees at 11 o'clock. It then dipped in the early hours, but it didn't get below, I think, 5 degrees. So it's going to be 6 degrees all day, and then at about 4 o'clock today, the temperature is going to start to dip, and it's going to get down to, I think it's -1. So then I will know this evening whether or not this is having any effect. I'm going to try and not put the heating on. I didn't last night. I didn't need it because it was still like that weird 10 degrees in the evening. So tonight I think will be more of a test for this, and I'll get a feel for whether or not it's really working. But that's I think that's it for the week. I've done a lot of rambling this week. Yeah, I think that'll do. That's enough for 1 week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I realised there was something I forgot to add today that I should have done yesterday and didn't, which of course was my Bakeathon. I didn't do one last week because basically I eat too much sugar, so I decided that I would have a week off, which means not having cake, not having desserts, that sort of thing. It was fine actually. But I've decided that I will do a Bakeathon this week, and I'm really going to cram everything into the oven. So I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I haven't thought about it properly, so I'm just going to run through that with you now. What am I going to do? Well, lunch today is going to be this macaroni cheese, which I bought, I think in October, might even have been September, stuck in the freezer and forgot. I need to try this to see if it's actually any good. It was recommended to me as a really good mac and cheese, 85p in Sainsbury's. So I'm going to do that today. If it's good, I'm going to get a few more and stack those in the freezer. I'm also going to make a courgette cake. That big batch of courgettes I bought, some of them, I've got a couple left and they're right on the last legs. I've had to peel them because the outers were starting to go, so I really need to get on and use that. So I'm going to make a big old courgette cake like I've done the parsnip cake before and whatever else I've done. It's my very basic cake recipe I've used before. What else am I going to do? I got some Just Roll out the freezer. I'm going to divide that in half. Half is going to be a bacon tomato cheese pizza. The other half, I think, is going to be an apple and pear tart. So that's it's the puff pastry, and then I'm going to make an oat and crumble topping to go on top of it, and then hopefully, I think that's everything. Don't think there was anything else I was going to do. So that's 1, 2, 3. I think that's 4 things. I'm not going to talk all my way through it because I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to do I'm going to record me making stuff. I'll put some notes up where necessary, and you can just watch along, and then that will be the end of this video because it's quite long already and you have enough to be going on with. Enjoy. Just want to give you my verdict on the macaroni cheese. And some extra vegetables on the side, like you do, because you can't just eat macaroni cheese and nothing else. Looks alright from there. It's just going to be really, really hot. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad for 85p. I think I will be keeping one of these as permanently as possible in the freezer. I love cheese, and that's not too bad. Could be cheesier. I guess I could always add more cheese if I wanted to. But, I mean, it's not enormous for 85p. But if you're on a really tight budget, and you're okay about eating small, or you can put some extra veg on the side, that's definitely a lunch or a dinner. Yeah, that's alright, 85p, can't complain about that.